Galazan got started by Tony Galazan in 1975. He started buying and selling guns, and some of the guns that he had guns and refinished stocks and recut checkering and recase color guns, and ultimately he started making his own guns in 1991 when we were incorporated. Fox, under license from the Savage Arms Company. We took over the Winchester Custom Shop in the early 90s, and we're making the Winchester Model 21s for them when they ask us to do so, but we do privately label the Model 21. We call it the Connecticut Shotgun Model 21. We've moved on to also making over and under side lock shotguns, over and under box lock shotguns. We also make side-by-side shotguns that are on an Anson and Daly box lock system, and we also make side lock side-by-side shotguns, and that's kind of where we're at.
So I'm here with Lou Fructuoso, and we're in the nicest gun room I've ever been in. There's got to be 8,000 square feet of guns. We had to move a couple of purdies to get where we wanted to be here. And one of the guns that you make, of course, that's really a source of pride, one of the most intriguing guns known to man, if you ask me. This is a 22 long rifle, double rifle, and it's a little tiny Winchester Model 21 action, probably the strongest double gun action made. What a delight.
This is, again, a 22 on a tiny scaled frame, being the lightest gun out there. This, we've scaled the action down to the smallest possible form factor, and we actually make a couple of versions of this, but this is the absolute smallest. It has automatic ejectors. This particular gun has double triggers, which is very, very unusual. This is the smallest version of a Model 21 that we make, and this gun barely weighs 5 pounds.
Now, Lou, if we set that one down, we have a gun here that, frankly, they used to not make them like this anymore, and this is a Parker AAHE, and this is a high-grade Parker shotgun. Of course, Parker stopped making guns, what, in the 1930s?
That's right.
And this gun, you guys partnered with Remington on it because Remington owns the Parker name, but this is as beautiful as a Parker can get.
Yeah, this is a American side-by-side. If it wasn't the Winchester Model 21, if it wasn't the Fox, of which we make both of them, it would be the Parker. The workmanship in this, and to re-engineer this gun, and this is not a reproduction, a copy of this gun. This is really a continuation of the Parker gun that was made in Ilion, New York in the 1930s. And it was an incredible challenge, incredible feat. This is just something that I can't imagine us being more excited than anything else making this gun when we finally were able to present it to the representatives at Remington. This is just the most incredible 28 gauge shotgun, side-by-side shotgun that I've ever seen in my life. The engraving that we do on the guns is really two different systems that we use here. We use world. The next version of engraving is what we do in-house, that's laser engraving. The technology of laser engraving has come such a long way. Even in the 5 or 10 years that we've been doing it, we've gone through 2 generations of engraving here. It's so good and it's so high grade. You really need a trained eye under magnification to see the difference between laser engraving and hand engraving. Done by lasers and machinery is just amazing. At Connecticut Shotgun and Standard Manufacturing, we pride ourselves in making everything right here in Connecticut. The highest grade guns, the best guns in the world are made in this factory, alongside with the guns that we compete in England or in Italy or other places in Europe. The shotguns that we make at this factory, I'm proud to say, are as good as anything else made in the world.
I'm here in the stock shop for Connecticut Shotgun with Lou Fructuoso. And Lou, this is something that you just don't see in North America. This is something that you see at Purdy's or some of the fine gun makers in Italy. These guys are doing something pretty special. Can you tell us about it?
Sure, absolutely. They're taking a barreled action that's come out of the other side of the factory, lever, to the barreled action, and they're going to fit it to perfection. The wood is always going to be just a little bit proud to the metal. That's how a fine gun is fitted. And then once that is done, they're going to fit the gun to the dimensions given by the stock fitter.
So this is fine gun making, really on custom guns here at Connecticut Shotgun.
Over the course of Connecticut Shotgun being in business, we've acquired a tremendous amount of machinery to essentially be vertically integrated in the gun making industry. We're capable of making our own stocks, we're capable of making our own receivers, we're capable of making our own barrels, we're capable of making essentially all the ancillary parts. And that's to make high-grade shotguns. Unfortunately, high-grade shotguns is not something that everyone can afford. And secondly, the people who are buying high-grade shotguns generally are older people, where if they're in their 60s or 70s, you can imagine in 10 or 15 years they're going to be handed off to the next generation who may not have any interest in it. So you're essentially have on the used gun market very high-grade guns, and that's what you have around us is several thousand high-grade shotguns of people that have collected them, have moved on for whatever reason, and here they are available for sale in our gun room. So one day we had an epiphany that we had all the machinery and we had all the equipment and we had all the resources to make guns that people can afford. So now we're making the DP-12 shotgun. Standard Manufacturing Company is a company that's not well known, but once this double pump shotgun pretty much hit the market, it really took us by storm in terms of making the guns. We make several hundred guns a day here, and we can't keep up with demand for the DP-12 double pump shotgun. It's a very reliable, very robust design gun. It's affordable by the average person. Now we're making AR platform rifles. And so when you go to your local gun shop and you see, oh, this is standard manufacturing AR platform rifle, why should I buy this gun versus something else that's out there that's better known or less expensive? The gunsmiths assembling the AR platform rifles are also gunsmiths that are building RBLs, A10s, Parkers, Foxes, Model 21s, all the different guns. So the hands that are working on these guns are at a whole different level than an assembler or someone that is just casually making guns or in a production environment. These are not production guns. These are guns that are hand-built, and they don't leave the factory until they're perfect to our specifications. We take an incredible amount of pride in every gun we make, whether it's the highest grade shotgun that we know how to make, or it's an AR platform sporting rifle or a DP-12 shotgun. The same level of pride and attention is given to every gun we make, and all the guns, again, are made here in our factory in New Britain, Connecticut, in the United States by American workers.